Justin Gray in his first year opposes Desmond Oliver in his first year tonight, the head coaching matchup. And Joe Petrakis wins the tap for Western. He'll be joined in the starting lineup as the clock did not run. 20 on the clock for the game, 30 on the shot clock, and just going to take, I think, 4 seconds. And they will run it here. There we go.
Not as good a start as the Catamounts had Saturday. 5 seconds into the Sanford game, they had a three-pointer, so they're looking to score off the tip.
There you see Petrakis, Nick Robinson, Marcus Banks, Tyler Harris, Vontarius Woolbright, the 5 for those in purple. Visitors from about 2 hours down the road. Down in the post, the ball knocked away from Vontarius Woolbright. ETSU forces a turnover early.
ETSU man-to-man defense. Ladarius Brewer digging down, shakes one loose. 5 ball turnover.
Jordan King guarded by the bigger, stronger Marcus Banks. Felix Sloan on the right side.
Western man also. They'll also play some 1-3-1 matchup zone.
Ladarius Brewer rattles in a 3 to open the scoring. 1,077 consecutive games with a 3 for ETSU, 5th longest streak in the country.
Nicholas Robinson was out there in space. Gonna have to run Brewer off that line, turn him into a bouncer.
Unable to answer in the right corner was Tyler Harris. Ball batted out, though, and a shot clock reset for the Catamounts.
It's just an example of what Nicholas Robinson does. The drive, draw, and dish, and then keeping the offensive rebound alive with the tap back.
Too strong on the 3 from Nick Robinson, and ETSU has the rebound with Jaden Seymour, the Wichita State transfer. David Sloan's the trailer. Thought about a 3. Now Ladarius Brewer, he'll take one. That one halfway down and popped out. Got the rattle in, then that one rattled out on the next possession.
Got what he likes. He loves to catch and turn to that left shoulder.
The lefty, Woolbright, too heavy, and Ladarius Brewer cuffs the rebound, throws it ahead, quick outlet. Jordan King, who stepped on the sideline, turnover Buccaneers. They're first to match the one they forced on Western.
Yeah, good idea. I'd like to see a little bit shorter outlet pass. It's a difficult angle to start the break.
Be interesting to see how this Western Carolina team continues to respond offensively without McCray, who we mentioned just before tip. Second leading scorer on this team that's no longer on the roster. Robinson is their leading scorer, averaging 15 per game. Kicks it out to Petrakis. He misses short, and Ty Brewer, 40-inch vertical, way up there for the rebound. Lob pass inside. Seymour catches it right at the rim. Petrakis trying to force him outside. Bad pass. Not sure that Seymour needed to try that kind of pass in that short of quarters for Ladarius Brewer. Ends in a second buck turnover.
Well, Seymour kind of stuck. He had Petrakis pinned. Great athletic play to go up and make that catch. Panicked a little bit. ETSU, a little token 2-2-1 pressure. They'll drop back man.
Woolbright, transfer from Lawson State Community College. Petrakis, Kansas State transfer. Robinson, straight on, yes. Nick Robinson ties the game. 2.5 minutes in, Western Carolina on the board.
Was that 4 out, 1 in, and Robinson with the catch and quick release to convert and tie this one at 3.
Ty Brewer, 7 points combined each of the last 2 games, and his struggles continue. Just lost the ball unharassed. Woolbright cut off by King. Banks early in the shot clock, 3, not the shot they wanted. They take a lot of them, but that one seemed a bit rash. Rebound Seymour.
Good job in defensive transition, balancing the floor and containment.
Great pass by Sloan. Whipped it down low for Ty Brewer, who claimed the finish.
Good to see Ty Brewer going. Only had 8 field goal attempts in the last 2 games combined. Gets one easy in transition early. Let's see if they can get him going.
Robinson crosses over, kicks it to Harris. Back out to Robinson. Baby hook, too heavy on the touch. Woolbright had the rebound for a moment. It was knocked away by Ladarius Brewer with 16:32 on the first half clock. Western Carolina baseline out of bounds coming.
Good job Seymour defending in space. Push back on Robinson. No help on that straight line drive. Able to wall up and contain.
Woolbright replacing McCray as the second leading scorer on the roster for Western Carolina. You're going to hear a lot about transfers today. Robinson opened his career at St. Joe's, transferred in from Valparaiso. Woolbright, we mentioned, Lawson State Community College. Petrakis, Kansas State. Cam Baycoat, who we'll see as a sub today, Maryland East Shore. This goes on. 12 newcomers. Just 3 returners with McCray departing. Woolbright forces his way down low, and I think Seymour smacked at the ball at the last second. Looked like he had good defense, and then at the very last moment, made a poor choice.
Just too tempting. That's what Western does. They spread you. The straight line drive, the head and shoulders around, in good shape, but reaching in at the last moment. I spoke to ETSU assistant Mark Bielkowski before the game. His greatest concern, he had the scout against Western, his greatest concern was stopping dribble penetration. He said we have to wall up, contain, and stay in front today.
If Ontarius Woolbright misses this, it's free Chick-fil-A for everyone in the building. But not so fast, says Woolbright. 60% at the line this year, goes 1 of 2. Western Carolina within 1. If an opponent misses in the same trip to the line both free throws, free chicken sandwich for everybody. One of the promotions here at Freedom Hall is a back cut from David Sloan, leaves him wide open. Great spin away from his defender. Got Banks in the air. Great patience from the veteran.
Sure was. Set play, curled tightly off that diagonal cut, and a nice catch. Showed a little leather and got the easy one off the banking board.
Banks draws a crowd. Robinson's wide open. That was ugly out of his hand. Rebound battled for. Woolbright throws it off of TSU. Now a few head coaches ago, it was then Steve Forbes, Jason Shea, and now Desmond Oliver. As the inbounds pass is stolen by Ladarius Brewer. He threw it ahead to his brother Ty. Loose ball caroms into the hands of Jordan King.
And that was a dangerous play. Ty Brewer, glad he's okay. I think he's still seeing stars.
He tried to go up top for a lob, but the pass took a deflection on the way to him.
Set play, back screen. Tried to find Brewer at the rim out of the timeout. Pass a little low and off the mark.
Another turnover for Western Carolina. Their third. ETSU's had 4. There's Justin Gray in his first season for Western Carolina. Desmond Oliver's got a lot of coaching experience. Justin Gray doesn't have that. Just 2 years of coaching at Winthrop before getting this job. His experience more as a player. He's played professionally in Belgium, Czech Republic, Poland, Greece, Ukraine, China, Germany, France, Turkey, Lebanon, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Belarus, Romania. About half the countries in the world for my math, but I was never good at math. As Mohab Yasser, in his first action tonight, travels on his first offensive touch.
Justin Gray's been more places than Johnny Cash.
I think he's been to more countries or played in more countries as a professional than I've been states, although maybe that says more about me, Bruce. Woolbright going to do the ball handling. Cam Baycoat wearing number 11 into the game for the first time. Joined by Marlo Gilmore. Didn't play last game. He's played every other of the 15 that the Catamounts have played, though. Here's the lefty Marvin Price from outside. Not even close. Ball on the floor, and it's Jordan King. Cross-court pass, Ladarius Brewer. King in rhythm, turns, shoots, misses, rebound. Up there for it was Ty Brewer. Charlie Weber, who's into the game. Saves it over to Ty Brewer, who misses the layup, but he is fouled. You can see the explosive leaping ability from Ty Brewer, who's infringed upon by Marlo Gilmore.
And that's a dangerous play. Cameron Baycoat throws it back in blindly under his own defensive basket. Turns into a live ball turnover. Bucks make him pay. Ty Brewer, the beneficiary, he'll go to the line, as you see Desmond Oliver.
He picked up his first win in the league as a head coach against VMI last Wednesday. He's coached at schools in the MAAC, 2 separate teams there, the Big 12, Ivy League, the Atlantic 10, 3 separate teams in that conference, the SEC for 2 separate teams, Conference USA, but his first conference win as a head coach coming in the Southern Conference as Ty Brewer nestles in the first free throw and the second. Buccaneers up 9-4, 14:31 to go in the first half. Bonnie Patterson checks in, and Ty Brewer is going to depart. 5 on the floor for the Bucks. Yasser, King, Ladarius Brewer, Bonnie Patterson, as well as Charlie Weber.
Good to see Ty Brewer with productive minutes early. TSU really needs to get him going.
Woolbright. Inside, a finish for the lefty, who's averaging 10 points per game, 6 rebounds as well.
And he's one to go left. You have to play into that left shoulder. Take away his dominant side. Straight line drive, no help, and finish off the banking board at the rim.
Mid-range jumper for Ladarius Brewer, hits the rim twice, and undercut on the rebound attempt was Mohab Yasser. Nick Robinson right underneath him. A bit of a dangerous play, and he's looking for the foul.
Robinson didn't have to do that because Yasser had mistimed his leap. That ball was coming off. Robinson, an aggressive player, but there's one caveat to his game. He picks up some careless fouls, and there's one early.
King out. David Sloan is back in for the Buccaneers. 6 minutes in, just 15 combined points. Did you think we'd see this kind of stalemate offensively early, Bruce?
Bit surprised early.
Barely grazing the rim was Mohab Yasser. He was bumped, thought he was fouled. No call from this refereeing crew today of R.B. Clyburn, Alandis Poole, and Anthony Eads.
Sometimes when you play quick, you tend to play too quick, and that's been the case on a number of Western possessions.
Robinson, impressive job to tap the rebound to himself. Price between a double team, can't get it to go, and ripping the rebound away from Marlo Gilmore was Vonnie Patterson.
And that rarely occurs. Gilbert gets a rebound about every 3 minutes. He's Western Carolina's version of Sheboy.
Vonnie Patterson now 6 for 28 from beyond the arc since going 3 for 4 in the first game of the season after that miss. Robinson crosses over against Charlie Weber. Baycoat dishes it off the glass, no good from Gilmore, gets his own miss, and that one rattles around and out. Oh, 2 point-blank attempts, but no points for Gilmore. And now here's Ladarius Brewer up top. Got it around Gilmore and slammed it home.
Great leave by Sloan, hits Brewer in stride. He knows what to do with it and how to finish. If you're Gilmore, you have to finish that if your team's going to compete on the road.
6 points in the first 7.5 minutes. Western Carolina struggling without John McCray. Baycoat clangs a 3, and off and running David Sloan. It's a 3-on-1, leaves it for Ladarius Brewer, who goes southpaw for the score. Timeout.
2 nice passes feeding Brewer in transition. Pushes this ETSU lead to 7. Bucks really getting it done on the defensive end, limiting Western to 2 out of 15 from the field.
Sloan, the facilitator again tonight. Already 4 assists, now 70 on the season, far and away a team high. Robinson, smooth over Charlie Weber.
ISO action. You see Robinson with the soft touch from the mid-range.
It's their second field goal in their last 11 attempts, breaking a scoreless drought of 2 minutes and 15 seconds. All the struggles offensively, they're only down 5. As Charlie Weber posts up, middle of the paint, turns and scores.
High-low action, Weber, just too much size for Tyler Harris. Soft touch over the front rim, Weber turning to his left shoulder.
That's a big problem for this Western Carolina team. Size. Only Joe Petrakis stands above 6'6", the players in this Western rotation. Harris up fakes on the 3, drives in aggressively, and he'll go to the line. Take some contact and earned his 2 freebies coming up.
That's what they do. They spread you until they find a seam. Harris shows a little leather, gets Seymour leaning. Hits the gap, draws contact. He'll go to the line for 2.
Just a couple of games at the end of November and early December did Harris, but otherwise has been the starting lineup all but 1 game he's played this season. One of just 3 returners on this roster, along with Josh Massey and Brad Halverson. That rolls around and out, and yet again, chance for ETSU fans to be as loud as they will all night. If this second free throw doesn't go down, we're going to hear a decibel explosion inside this building. Oh, Western teasing the Buccaneer faithful so far. 1 for 2 goes Harris. Sloan, Seymour, Patterson, Yasser, and Weber for ETSU in their white jerseys tonight. Up 6 here at home. Their last 100 games here at Freedom Hall, 82 and 18. David Sloan left that one woefully short. Jaden Seymour, though, fighting hard inside for the second chance, and he's fouled.
Missed opportunity at the point of attack. Sloan puts Marcus Banks in jail. Comes up a little short with the floater. Jaden Seymour active on the offensive glass, and he'll go to the line for 2.
just the third foul on Western in this half, but they said that Seymour was in the act of the shot trying for the putback. He misses the first free throw as David Sloan will check out. Jordan King will check in. Seymour, interesting story, tore his ACL April of 2019. That caused him to miss most of his senior season at Northside Christian High School. Really brutal timing for the ACL injury. Some believed he would be a Power 5 lock if he hadn't gotten injured, and still garnered offers, even with the injury from Virginia Tech, North Carolina State. The three is on the way quickly, and the other end of the court for Marcus Banks, but it's a miss. And speaking of Seymour, he's got the rebound after he went 1 for 2 at the line.
What a huge upside, tremendous athlete, great length, run the floor so well. Nice touch from the mid-range.
Ended up going to Wichita State before coming here to ETSU, and he set the screen for Jordan King, who rips the cords from outside.
Horn set. King just bounces himself into rhythm, but you're right, there's no stat for it, and there should be. Jaden Seymour just wiped out a defender with that on-ball screen. King cut off tightly, hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, and left no separation.
Watching on that pass from Seymour, it still eventually does find its way to Petrakis, who goes offhand, but it rims away. And Vonnie Patterson a double dribble in the backcourt. You can see he got caught between trying to dribble up himself or passing it to Jordan King. Changed his mind at the last moment. It's turnover number 6 on ETSU.
And that's not all on Vonnie. Guards have to come back and make that outlet pass a little bit easier. To come back and run not to the catch but through the catch. Sometimes you get out in transition, it gets a little too easy and you start to float. This time they left Patterson on an island.
Woolbright will inbound. Banks, Petrakis is out there as well with Baycoat, and the man with the ball, Harris. Cut in the middle for Banks, wasn't there. Woolbright backs it out. Petrakis is open in the corner. He's being guarded on the sideline by Desmond Oliver. He was just inches behind him, and Petrakis missed. And Yasser running the floor, right-handed layup from the left side.
Great. Vonnie Patterson hitting Yasser in stride with a nice finish.
Quick 6-0 burst by ETSU over the last minute and a half. They're up by 12. Biggest lead of the day.
Western's lack of sense of urgency in defensive transition. ETSU capitalized.
Banks against King, 2 on the shot clock. Banks has to try a tough step back, misses short. Charlie Weber swoops in for the board.
ETSU just absolutely denying Western bounces into the paint.
Pass careens off of Woolbright and into the backcourt. King will set up the offense with 15 on the shot clock, 9 minutes on the first half game clock. King, open look, you bet. Jordan King, 7-3. Good for ETSU to see that because he was just 1 of 8 from outside last game.
Way too easy. King bouncing off the flat screen from Charlie Weber. No help, no communication. You have to switch it. You have to hedge it. You have to do something. You just can't let Jordan King bounce into rhythm.
Lackadaisical passing from Western Carolina has their offense out of sync. Woolbright in the corner. Harris closed out by Seymour. Baycoat from straight on. Hard off the heel. Tough rebound by Banks. Leaves it off for Baycoat. Wow, the freshman guard. Some great work on the glass. Now Harris. Second chance points. All 3 of them for Tyler Harris.
She's probably going to live with that. Like to have that defensive rebound back. They'll take Tyler Harris shooting 3s each possession. Big basket for Western. Breaks a long dry spell. Horn set for the Bucks.
Seymour around Harris. Gathered and 1. Hoop harm headed to go in the first half against Western Carolina.
Seeing a higher energy level from the guys in the white jerseys. 5 players running the floor hard each offensive possession. Just a step quicker on both ends of the floor are the Bucks.
Jaden Seymour caps off his 3-point play opportunity with that free throw. He's got 4 early points. Only player to have played and not scored for the Bucks so far, Vonnie Patterson in his 7 minutes. Leading ETSU Ladarius Brewer with 7. Western needs to find some continuity on the offensive end, averaging just a point per minute tonight. Tyler Harris on the baseline now goes middle, high over a double team. The tip was there for Petrakis, but he couldn't get it to go. Ladarius Brewer throws it back in to Jordan King. Weaving through traffic is King. Darius Brewer sometimes a quick trigger from deep outside. This time he drives, draws defenders. Patterson still hasn't scored as he misses the three.
A good pass from Brewer drew the defense. Patterson couldn't knock down the clean look. Western attacking the paint off the bounce last two possessions.
Clever back cut from Tyler Harris, and Ty Brewer, the one to have fouled him. First foul on Brewer, just ETSU's third this half, but it will be Harris to the line. His second trip today, 2 for 4 from the stripe are Western, but just 4 for 23 from the field.
Western defensively really struggling to cover these screens, both on-ball and off-ball screening action. I wonder if we're going to see Justin Gray in some of that 1-3-1 matchup. They've elected to go straight man the first 13 minutes.
Woolbright, Gilmore both back. Out go Banks, Petrakis, and Baycoat. Robinson into the game with the first appearance for Madison Monroe that we've seen for Western. Harris at the line, who is in his third year with the Catamounts, mostly acting as a sub his freshman year, but playing a more integral role last season. He rims in the free throw, goes 2 for 2, starting 20 games last year, marking career highs in almost every category, and now of even greater importance with Travion McCray on this team.
He's a high-energy guy, comes in averaging 7 and 4, a bit foul prone, he's gonna have to dial it back. Justin Gray needs him at the end.
A pass intended for Charlie Weber. Western got a finger to it, and it's into the hands of Robinson. Harris going to attack again, blocked by Charlie Weber. Ball is anyone's to have, and it went off of ETSU last. The Catamounts will keep it.
3 consecutive possessions. Western attacks the paint off the bounce, and once again finds a bunch of white jerseys in there, and you see Charlie Weber with the active hands to shake that one loose.
Woolbright, who's got 3 points early, inbounds. It's Gilmore, who fumbles with it for a moment. Madison Monroe from the corner, an air ball. Offensive rebound, though, for Gilmore, and that is what he brings, mainly that rebounding threat, someone to mix it up. 4th on the team in fouls this year, despite playing just 11 minutes per game, so he's big, physical, is not afraid to use that big body of his, and that time just caught Charlie Weber off guard, and he'll head to the free throw line.
Well, he goes after every rebound on both ends of the floor. Just phenomenal how quickly he grabs one. Averaging a rebound every 3 minutes, an offensive rebound every 5 minutes. This is one area where he really struggles.
Oh, an unlikely make, just 32% from the line. That quiets this ETSU crowd that is hungry for chicken.
And he was 20% going into the Citadel game where he hit 3 out of 4, and they needed every one to get that one into OT.
Ended up making the most of that overtime. Citadel still the only team in the Southern Conference without a victory, being Western's only, and you can see maybe Gilmore starting to figure it out from the line.
How in the world is he just a 20% shooter going into the Citadel? That's not a bad looking stroke right there.
He's got the lead down to 11, and Western, oh, they had the ball back for a moment. Unable to take the steal was Banks after it looked like he had control.
Now Western getting out a little more aggressive through the DHOs.
Sloan lost it off his hip, and Western will have a chance to cut it back to single digits.
A little more aggressive, the Catamounts on the perimeter.
It's turnover number 9, not a clean game from ETSU, but they're shooting 59% from the floor to make up for the mistakes. Oh, wow. Putting his man on skates was Vontarius Woolbright, but he was rejected at the rim. The lefty goes to the right hand on the second chance, but can't get it. David Sloan against Nick Robinson, bodies him off with the shoulder. Ty Brewer flies in for the deuce.
That's what's been lacking. Ty Brewer making plays in transition. No big in this league is as fast inline to inline as Ty Brewer.
David Sloan got a great little move here at the rim. Wow, it hung there for a moment, and then Brewer about as far away from the basket as you can be and still get a slam dunk putback. He's able to force it back up. Sloan did pick up a foul as he got a bit overzealous trying to take the ball back for the Buccaneers, who have extended the lead back to 13 right in front of our broadcast position. Tyler Harris with a stack in front of him will inbound for Western. Western once again just going through some brutal stretches from the floor. They already had a 1 for 10 stretch earlier this half, now 1 for their last 11. Woolbright, a couple of Buck fans wanted to travel. Robinson fires a three and hits it.
Good job defensively at the point of attack, putting Woolbright away from his dominant hand. Able to kick back out to Nicholas Robinson and jabs Ladarius Brewer back on his heels, creates a little space and knocks down a big three, badly needed back out of bounds.
That quick stoppage because Vontarius Woolbright was pawing in his eye, and Landis Poole just wanted to make sure he is okay. Still kind of squinting out of that eye as Woolbright, as he went closed out on Ladarius Brewer, who missed a three, but following his own shot does have the Buccaneers another opportunity.
Brewer with a clean look off the pick and pop. I'd like to see him pump fake and bounce more off those, especially when he makes one early and gets defenders flying at him. Thought he missed an opportunity right there.
King, step back three, missed that short. Ty Brewer, though, the long rebound. Trying to body up Marvin Price, and Price is called for the foul.
Ty Brewer once again active on the offensive boards, keeping the possession alive.
For Gilmore, that's his second, so he'll check out. I think I said Price. That was Gilmore, the one that picked up the foul, and Price is going to replace him. Yasser, right elbow for Ladarius Brewer. Works his way to the rim, and a jump ball called. The possession arrow favors ETSU, 14 on the shot clock.
Brewer able to post up with 2 feet in the paint. Good job by Woolbright, pushing back, second off the floor. Gets a hand on it. Big athletic physical guard plus defender. Reminds me a little bit of Vern Fleming.
King, fall away, got it. Loves that mid-range game. His third make today, now a team high 8 points.
Well, ETSU likes that matchup. They don't feel like Banks can stay with Jordan King in space, and Jordan King doesn't either.
Woolbright still aggressive. His second field goal is down. Still a 10-point game. And in the post, before Ladarius Brewer could even think about getting the ball, Nick Robinson going to pick up his second foul, and that's something that Catamounts can ill afford. May have to sit him for the rest of the first half to avoid him getting that third foul, and momentum going to be so key going to the second.
That's been problematic for Robinson and Tyler Harris and Travion McCray when he was on the roster. All year long, these guys are prone to foul trouble. Robinson now with 2, so decision time for Justin Gray.
And he will remove Robinson, who is exasperated at the decision, but only has himself to blame.
Yeah, Brewer got his work done early, posting with 2 feet in the paint.
Yasser right over the top of his defender to get the rebound, and the foul called on Baycoat, who may have been surprised just how quickly Yasser attacked that rebound, which is one of the qualities he's brought to the CTSU team as a freshman.
Well, Baycoat was in contact with Yasser, but I don't think he realized just how far Yasser had backed him down. Really savvy veteran play by the freshman. See, utilizing that international experience right there to attack the offensive glass.
He played in Basketball Africa League, where 9 scouts watched him score 13 points in the championship game of the BAL. Yasser, the youngest player in the entire league, and led the league by shooting nearly 70% from the floor, and selected to the senior national team for Egypt in June. I mean, his resume is miles long at such a young age. He made both. ETSU's got it back to 12. Media timeout in the final one of our first half at the next dead ball.
As well as ETSU's defended, they've done it without fouling also.
Right on cue, the Bucks with another takeaway. Up top, Jaden Seymour cocks it back and throws it down.
Another nice look for Sloan, rewarding the big guy, Jaden Seymour, with the finish on the offensive end.
Bayco can't answer. This is danger time for Western Carolina, as Harris misses badly on a 3 with Buccaneers draped all over him. Look at David Sloan push the pace. ETSU returns to the floor with Mohab Yasser, David Sloan, Bonnie Patterson, Ty Brewer, and Jaden Seymour to defend. It's Woolbright, Banks, Monroe, Price, and Harris for Western.
And where does Western go without Nick Robinson?
We're gonna try Price down low, forces it through contact, and he earns 2 free throws. Ty Brewer picking up foul number 2.
Price out of Maryland, gives them some much needed muscle, 6'5", 230, averaging 8 and 3 off the bench.
Yeah, they list him as a guard, but with that kind of size, especially in a mid-major conference, you can see him playing a lot of positions. Big body transfer from Salt Lake Community College. First free throw is pure, as Ladarius Brewer is going to check in for Ty Brewer, who joins Charlie Weber on the bench with 2 fouls. And this has been a problem for ETSU's bigs. When they've had all of them available, oftentimes they've gotten saddled with fouls and left the Bucks short-handed. Depth, a real issue in the front court for ETSU as Price goes 2 for 2.
It is, and now not only are you without Weber and Ty Brewer, Jaden Seymour forced to play out of position. He's probably a natural 3 or 4. Now he's having to play the 5.
Bucks will be happy to see him against the 5 of Western Carolina. As an ugly 3 out of Mohab Yasser's hand. Misses everything and goes out of bounds. They've got Price guarding Seymour. Seymour standing 6'7", 6'8". Price just 6'5", and that tells you how small Western Carolina's roster is.
Yeah, and even Petrakis at 6'10" is not your prototypical 6'10" guy. He plays more on the perimeter. He's not a shot blocker.
No travel called. Looked like Harris dragged his pivot foot. Woolbright whips it cross court. Price up fakes on a 3. Gets inside, misses again. Oh, he hasn't gotten the rolls the last 2 possessions. Rebound Seymour.
Great job by Ladarius Brewer, turning Price away from his dominant hand. Price forced to go right, where he's far less comfortable.
Goodness, David Sloan wanted a foul down low too. Only letting him play are R.B. Clyburn, Landis Poole, and Anthony Eads.
Sloan so good today in transition. Love his eye level, finding teammates, finding the open floor. Tremendous decision making on the break.
6 of the Buccaneers' 8 assists today. Misses on that 5-foot jump shot. Vonnie Patterson goes up, and now he's got points. All 8 Buccaneers have scored as Patterson gets ETSU's 10th and 11th second chance points today.
It started on the inbounds with Sloan working hard to get open, ran through the inbounds pass. Put Woolbright in jail, couldn't connect, but Vonnie Patterson with the follow-up.
The much smaller Sloan, great post defense to get the steal from Price. Oh! Jaden Seymour! High
Credit the freshman Mohab Yasser, rewarding the big guy for running the floor, and 2 times today, Jaden Seymour taking the high handoff and slamming it home in transition.
Woolbright scoops that one around the defense and in, but ETSU with 90 seconds remaining in this first half, looking like a renewed offensive side, using some fireworks up in the rafters, it seems, with how high Seymour is rising.
And how quickly Mikey gets down court. Remember, he's playing the 5, so he's running a few extra steps to get out in transition. He's out running guards on the break. Look there.
He had to reach back for that one, too. Impressive from Jaden Seymour. That's foul number 8 on Western Carolina this half, as Woolbright picked up his first. David Sloan, a pretty surefire shooter at the charity stripe, will have to earn the second, and he does.
For ETSU maybe to pick up the pressure here. Remember, they still have a foul to give prior to the break.
Man at the line has been so good offensively lately. He had just one 20-point game in his career before dropping a career-high 24 against Georgia December 22nd. Has 2 more 20-pointers since. Tied his career-high last game versus Wofford after going for 20 against VMI. Splits the pair at the charity stripe. And ETSU, with 1 minute remaining in this first half, 17-point lead.
Dangerous pass. Sloan turned around, had his head on a swivel. He could have picked that one.
Harris eyes a 3. Just wedged it between the rim and the backboard. ETSU looking for more. Vonnie Patterson. Mohab Yasser Quick, decisive move to get to the floater, but misses. And Yasser, some recent offensive struggles. He's now 1 for 4 from the floor. 2 of his last 3 games, just 2 points. But such a high effort, high energy player. They love him off the bench. Real spark plug. There's a half-second difference between the shot and game clock. Western Carolina holding for the last possession. Banks. The bigger Ladarius Brewer, 1 in the game clock, beats the shot clock horn and takes the...
Hey, loosen up, decide what you're gonna do. Get a plan, stick to it.
Robinson and his 2 fouls return to the court. He's joined by Banks, Harris, Woolbright, and Petrakis. In the corner, Harris up fakes. Banks steps into a 3. It rims out. Deflected ball, though, goes to Woolbright. Petrakis for the triple. Rebound at the left elbow, gathered in by Ty Brewer. What a pass! David Sloan to Jordan King for the finish. Oh, that was a dime from David Sloan.
Credit Jordan King for running the floor, and David Sloan saw just enough daylight to thread the needle and catch Jordan King on the dead run. Started on the defensive end. Bucks switched the on-ball screening action and got the stop.
Trent Dilfer on ESPN has Dilfer's dimes. I call that a Bruce bounce for our color analyst today, Bruce Trambarger. Woolbright over the top of Jaden Seymour for the 2.
Woolbright backing his way down and scoring with the offhand.
Ladarius Brewer drew the second defender. Jaden Seymour was fouled after he got the pass. Petrakis stepped in, but a bit too aggressively for the liking of R.B. Clyburn. And they'll call Banks instead rather than Petrakis, as you once again see just a beautiful pass from David Sloan. That is assist number 7 on the night. He could be headed for his first double-double of the year. 5 points with those 7 assists, as Seymour is true on the first free throw.
And Western once again in limbo in transition. Nobody stopping the ball, nobody back in the paint. Sloan able to get what he wants, and King King able to outrun 2 defenders.
Seymour now has 9 points. Petrakis can't hit again. He has been hot and cold from outside this year. And look out for Ty Brewer. He lays it in on the right side. And you're right, Bruce. ETSU is just beating Western Carolina up and down the floor.
Well, Ty Brewer's outrunning guys from 94 feet that have a 10 feet head start.
Step back for Robinson, a beauty.
He's all they have offensively. Have to be careful that he doesn't get his 3rd personal foul. They're just spreading the floor and letting him go.
Ty Brewer, hard off the heel, and at the free throw line, Marcus Banks collects it.
I know you want to get a lot of shots up, but that's too easy. You want to make Western work a little on the defensive end, and that's way too easy right there.
Woolbright into double figures, joining Robinson. Those 2 have 21 of the Catamounts and 31 points.
Just so big, so strong, so physical. Woolbright had 15 rebounds against Tennessee Tech.
David Sloan, high off the window, but that one flanked away, and the rebound for Robinson. Petrakis. That one's short, but Woolbright has it. Robinson. Flat line drive 3, worked once earlier today, but not that time. Ladarius Brewer rims around and out. Jaden Seymour from out of nowhere got his hands on it, but lost it out of bounds, and Western will have possession.
And once again, that's not a bad shot, one that Ladarius can certainly make. Again, I'd like to see that 3 coming after the ball. Been moved, maybe swung a couple of times. Maybe make Western defend off the bounce. Not a team that wants to spend time defending you in the half-court set. Shoot early in the possession, it bails them out.
Should be noted, the Bucks were up 17 against VMI 5 days ago. VMI came all the way back to tie it after being down 17 at the break. Western Carolina was also down 17 at the break here today. Robinson from way outside. Petrakis over Charlie Weber for the offensive rebound, and trying to even things out on the boards a bit are the Catamounts. Woolbright probing and finishes at the rim, and it's down to 15.
Woolbright getting what he wants at the rim. 3 straight line drives where he's been able to finish.
An offensive foul. Ty Brewer, his hand right in the face of Nicholas Robinson, who was guarding him out by the 3-point line on the catch. And for Ty Brewer, that's number 3.
Yeah, and why? There's no reason there. You get open with your feet, with your lower body, moving to the ball. That's just a forearm to the chops. Lucky they didn't go to the monitor on that.
Mohab Yasser to provide some energy for ETSU, and at the next dead ball, Petrakis thought about firing from 30 feet. Robinson against the smaller King in the post. The double comes. Woolbright in the corner for Harris. That rattles around. Whole new world as the head coach at Western.
I had Chris Paul. I have to admit, I missed Carmelo Anthony. I had Michael Jordan. I just assumed there was a North Carolina connection there.
It's about the only name that you could have bigger, I think, with Melo and Paul. That's an incredible one, too. David Sloan, dead-eye. And that ends the 6-0 run as David Sloan has his first triple of the day, the Buccaneers' 4th.
And that's the advantage of having a Charlie Weber on the perimeter. He overlooked the defense, find the shooter on the perimeter, and the catch and conversion by Sloan off a nice pass from Weber.
And now Sloan has a steal. Woolbright somehow is unable to stop David Sloan falling to the floor. David Sloan's doing it all.
Lowered the shoulder, initiated the contact. Woolbright didn't bite, but Sloan's still able to knock it down.
And another steal for the Buccaneers. Boy, that timeout is just what they needed. Charlie Weber, baby hook. That one came sideways out of his hand. And on the bounce, the rebound is for Baco.
Yeah, no reason to fade. Petrakis not a shot blocker, not a force in the paint.
Harris nets a 3. 4th for Western, 27 attempts. But boy, those turnovers right out of the timeout really changed the complexion. Momentum halted for Western, but they are back to the halftime deficit of 17.
Second 3-pointer for Harris, not known for his 3-point shooting.
Just 33% for beyond the arc this year. Jordan King, who is known for his 3-point shooting, this time takes it to the cup.
Put Tyler Harris in jail once he got the head and shoulders around. No help. All the way to the rim.
Robinson, 25 versus 25 down in the post. Robinson gathers and fades away. That was a really difficult shot from the SoCon logo. Here comes David Sloan. Whips it over to Jordan King. Who nets it? King's got 15, a game high.
And another dime from David Sloan. Jordan the King running hard, running to the line, running wide. Catch and conversion, Bucks plus 22.
1 assist from his first double-double of the season, David Sloan. Woolbright probing and hacked by either Weber or Sloan, and they'll whistle it on Sloan. That's his second.
One of the few times ETSU hung up in the flat screen.
Some moisture on the court. Bonnie Patterson and Jaden Seymour are going to check in as soon as they get the chance. Woolbright gonna go to the line. NCAA honorable mention All-American when he was at Boston State Community College. Threatening a triple-double on the season. 17 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists per game last year for Boston State as he makes the first free throw. Darius Brewer and David Sloan depart. Out goes Petrakis, who's just not having his best night. 0 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 5 from 3. His first game this season with the Catamounts, just his size on the interior, I think on the exterior. Log a double-double, but really hasn't produced a ton since. Is quickly on the other end. Mohab Yasser, and the Bucks are just rolling right now offensively. Robinson right back at ETSU, and it's good.
Nice shot by Western, but you can't trade baskets. You're certainly going to have to find shooters in transition. You're not stopping the ball. You're not guarding the rim. Not finding shooters on the line. Get back in this one. It's going to start on the defensive end.
Two in a row for Yasser? No. And the rebound for Woolbright in amongst the trees.
Nice hammer pass by Jordan King. I thought Yasser missed an opportunity to show Harris some leather and drive baseline.
Aiden Seymour took a shot downstairs, but a missed three from Western will give ETSU the ball back. Offensively for this Western Carolina team, they had been successful much of the year, putting up 75 or more each of their first 5 games and 10 times overall this season, but they had one of their worst offensive days against Stanford Saturday. Scored their second fewest points of the season, an 85-60 loss. The only time they scored fewer coming against Gardner-Webb when they put up just 59 in a 28-point defeat. And you can see that without McCray, and when you're not getting any help for Robinson and Woolbright, it may be a struggle for this Catamount team. Brewer switch.
And everything they get offensively comes from just their offense. They're not very good defensively. They don't get a lot of stops and quick hitting turnarounds to pad those offensive stats.
What is the bigger concern for you, Bruce, with this Western team as you look at them now? Defense or offense?
Certainly defense and a sense of urgency, just way too easy. There's no physical inside presence, just not any size there. A lot of holes in terms of personnel that I'm sure Justin Gray will address in time.
Chaos underneath the rim as Marvin Price has come up lame, limping back up court. Ty Brewer back out to Jordan King. King from 30 feet, he got it! Jordan King coming off of his worst offensive days Saturday. ETSU themselves on the 2020-21 team had 12 newcomers on their roster, tied for most in the nation, while their 3-letter winners returning were the second fewest in the country, and they know better than most it just takes time with that many moving parts.
Well, and throw in a new coaching staff, and there's even less continuity, but those moving parts that you talked about.
Contest in which that streak came to an end. Tough day. Got off just 5 shots and turned it over 7 times, but he's back to his form he's more accustomed to tonight. 16 points after making that free throw, along with 5 rebounds, just 9 shots to get to those 16 points, and that's what Western needs, more efficient performances like that.
Much more active in the second half, made his first 3 shots all at the rim. Able to get to the line for a pair of free throws. Probably a bit too late if Catamounts don't start getting some stops.
Trying to stop Moab Yasser from getting the ball was Marcus Banks, and Banks had a tough day himself. Picks up his 3rd foul, still no points. Down low, Yasser. Banks got back in position nicely, but they're going to call him for the foul, holding his hands straight up. He said that he didn't lean into Yasser, but seen it differently with Anthony Eads.
And that's been there all night. See Yasser cutting so strong off that diagonal screen. Nice catch there. Banks trailing the play. Yasser getting his work done away from the ball, running through that catch. Wofford had 23 deflections Saturday against ETSU. You think, well, that's poor, that's careless passing. Well, to some degree. You also have to receive actively, not only come to meet the catch. You have to run through the catch, not just to it. Buck's better job of actively receiving tonight.
Baycoat attacked Weber, and Weber did enough to force the miss. And look at Jordan King out on the break! Louisiana transfer rises high and throws it down hard. You don't see that from him often.
Jordan King showing some hops. Once again, Bucks out on the fast break. Purple jerseys trailing.
Offensive rebound for Woolbright. Bucks were already running back the other way. He is now 28 after that thunderous throwdown. Baycoat runs to a spot. Now gets closer and lays it in with the left. Maryland Eastern Shore transfer, played his opening season at UMass before transferring to Indiana State for the following 2 seasons. Now his first year at Western.
A high volume shooter. Doesn't have a lot of makes. Very good with the basketball. 2.5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. King looking to
add to his 20, and he does! He is in the zone, locked in. Jordan King playing like he's got the crown on already.
A little right to left step back, gains a little separation, and Bako does no answer.
Count that one for Nick Robinson. He's had a quieter second half than he did first, but a chance at a three-point play. Fancy footwork, spun inside, kept his pivot, and Charlie Weber is at foul number 4. Forgettable night for Weber. Jordan King will get a well-deserved rest and a big ovation as he leaves the floor.
Yeah, back to Weber. Still playing himself into shape. Take a while to come back mechanically, get your timing and rhythm. Probably a little more difficult for a big. I think a guard recovers quicker.
Yeah, it should be noted, Desmond Oliver in his postgame Saturday said that he still thinks Charlie Weber is a ways away from being able to just exert the kind of energy as David Sloan dices his way right around Tyler Harris. Exert the kind of energy needed to play at the high level for a long period that ETSU was becoming accustomed to from Weber before his injury. Bako tripped up as he went inside. Ronnie Patterson on the foul.
Yeah, let's remember Charlie's been pretty much an afterthought in the prior 2 seasons. After the departure of Silas Hideki, becomes a go-to guy and an integral part of the ETSU front court.
To your point, half the games played this year, he shot 50% or better from the floor, and Bako keeps that short. Inside though, Woolbright has it again. Harris, it rotates over. Bucks do a good job getting back to their defensive assignments. Robinson almost carried it. Now he's going to throw it out to Bako. Now an open look. Bako converts. But on Weber, 4 double-digit scoring games this year for Weber as Ty Brewer goes up to the two-handed. Scoring double figures just back together tonight, if only for a few moments. Started his career at John A. Logan College, spent 2 seasons there, and came out as a top 40 JUCO recruit nationally, according to multiple sources, and went to K-State the 2019-20 season before coming to ETSU. Robinson can't get the roll. Ty Brewer grabs it, and ETSU once again has a run out 3-on-2. They don't play the numbers game. The trailer, though, is Ty Brewer. He lost the ball. David Sloan, first Horizon player bio, gets it back as, again, he's still just 1 assist short of a double-double.
Good decision by Sloan. Now a mismatch here. Does Sloan take Tyler Harris off the bounce?
Instead, a back cut for Mohab Yasser. Tyler Harris got lost, and Harris unhappy with Bako. He thought there should have been a switch on that assignment.
Out of sync from the get-go. What was Harris doing on Sloan at the outset of that possession anyhow?
Harris can't get the points back on the other end, and David Sloan with the rebound, his 5th. But there he is, Brewer spots up. Rebound for Bako. Running quickly the other way, but a careless pass, and ETSU a 4-on-2, but a no-look pass is intercepted by Nick Robinson. Now a 1-on-0 for Woolbright. Sloan caught up late, but couldn't stop Woolbright from the lay-in.
Well, what you want to be careful about here if you're ETSU here, you're up 27. Game's not in jeopardy. You're going to win this one. You're going to take it to the house. But time and score decisions, now's the time to work on that.
TSU made 7 of their last 8 field goals.
With the last 2 possessions, 1 a quick shot, number 2 a live ball turnover.
And a bump on Tyler Harris with 7 on the shot clock for Harris. That's his first foul. Marcus Banks is on the bench with 4. Same for ETSU with Charlie Weber, and Weber's going to check back in to replace, I believe, Ty Brewer, while Banks and Petrakis are back in for Gilmore and Woolbright. Sloan for Ladarius Brewer. Brewer having a quiet day so far. With 7 early points, he's still stuck on 7. Mohab Yasser, teardrop. around and out, and rebound for Petrakis.
I don't know about the running one-hander off 1 foot there. I like to see Mo come to a jump stop, take that one up strong.
Harris may be getting a bit shot happy. This one won't hurt the Catamounts as he's fouled. 2 of 10 from the floor, 2 of 8 from outside. And this is going to be 3 free throws, as they say he was beyond the arc when he released it.
And again, why? Time and score decision. 32% shooter from beyond the arc. You bail him out, you stop the clock.
One of the holdovers from the Mark Prosser era here in Western Carolina. Prosser had a 12-win improvement from his first to second year in Cullowhee, but his third year, that being last season, team plummeted back to 4 conference wins as they had in his first year, and he jumped ship to Winthrop, opening the door for a man, Matt Winthrop, to switch places with him. Justin Gray, who you see here tonight, who was an assistant at Winthrop last year. So far, Coach Prosser at Winthrop has had his ups and downs. Very dominant Big South program are the Eagles. He's walking into a place with high expectations. Justin Gray is walking into this situation in which I think he'll be given a decent amount of leash, considering all of the new players and considering there just has not been the tradition of winning at Western as there has been at Winthrop.
And there hadn't been a lot of turnover in terms of coaching. The late Larry Hunter was there for about 100 years.
Way too much heat on that pass from Charlie Weber. Ended up at the feet of Ladarius Brewer. He makes the most of it, though, by getting to a good position, but misses off the right side of the rim. Hanging in midair for the pass was Bayco. Robinson can't hit the 3. Tapped out by Petrakis. And a foul, I believe, on Weber, and that will end a lackluster day from Charlie Weber. 5th foul. 2 points, 1 of 2 from the floor. 17 minutes.
33, Charlie Weber, his 5th personal foul.
Well, but Charlie getting what he needed, some game action, some air in his lungs.
Number 21, Matt Nunez.
Works his way back in that rehabilitation process.
Matt Nunez going to check in for him. Nunez played 11 minutes and 2 appearances, only career basket, a putback against VMI that gave the Bucks a 9-point lead. Helped stop the bleeding in a big VMI run. Actually a big basket and helping the Bucks get that 1-point victory as Petrakis at the line makes the first free throw.
Welcome to college basketball, young man. You come in, you guard the reigning Southern Conference Player of the Month on your first possession. Spent some time defending B.J. Mack from Wofford as well Saturdays. Nunez having to grow up early.
Not as easy as maybe it once was as a big in this league. There's teams really left and right, up and down the standings that have talented big men. Driving all the way down off the steal for Western was Banks hits both. 8-0 run for Western. They're still, for a young team, and I suppose by young, I don't mean college basketball experience, but young in terms of being together.
And chemistry.
Lots to be gleaned from these last 6-7 minutes, even though the game is a bit out of hand. Ty Brewer, tough little fadeaway running 6-footer. Right side of the rim missed.
6'9", can jump out of the gym. Why does Ty ever fade away? No shot blocker on the floor. Come to a jump stop, tape that up strong. Expect and embrace contact.
Madison Monroe, the 9th of 9 that have played to score for Western Carolina. And now it's an 11-0 run. Bucks maybe getting a bit loose late on, playing that determined, diligent basketball they did early on. Brewer lost one defender. Nunez cuts and throws it down! Big two-handed hammer of the flying freshman.
Ty Brewer off the jump stop. Didn't panic. Nunez running into open space. Nice catch and finish.
Nice finish is Albright. Spin cycle and the layup.
Far more active in the second half, getting to the rim at will.
Yasser lost it, and here comes Banks against King. Now it's 16, 15-2 run. Western Catamounts Nice little 3 minutes and 20 seconds they've had, though. 15-2 run after the lead got as big as 29. It was 79-50, and that's when Western made a charge, if not a little bit too late. Still trying to apply some pressure here and cut further into this deficit, make it look a bit more respectable. Tough though, Bruce, when your opponent shoots 58% on the game. 8 threes, 11 to 13 from the line. An offensive exhibition from the Bucks. But none of the sort lately as they turn it over yet again. This 15-2 run can grow as Desmond Oliver throws his play card, not happy with the way the Bucks are trying to close this out.
And the pass was there. Ladarius tried to find Brother Ty. Pass was there earlier. Brewer just a bit late on the connection.
Woolbright against Nunez, the cut from Monroe, but an errant pass from Woolbright, and it's a turnover. Look out for Ty Brewer. Here comes Nunez, blocked by Petrakis. Nunez has it back, and he's fouled. Well, Matt Nunez liked the feeling of the big two-handed dunk earlier and wanted to recreate that. Petrakis had other ideas.
About the two big guys on the break, Brewer and Nunez. My question is, Western Carolina, where are your guards? How are you getting outrun possession after possession? A 6'9" guy and a 6'10" guy beating you back. You had a 10-foot head start.
Nunez got his second career field goal earlier tonight, looking for his first collegiate free throw. But he'll have to wait. Goes over 2 at the line with 2:40 to go. Western Carolina, they need a miracle. Nick Robinson, what a wraparound scoop shot that was. Missed though, the foul from Monroe, hung for a moment and dropped off. Monroe is still in there fighting and he's fouled. And Justin Gray cheering on Monroe's effort. You have to like that as a young head coach with a team that doesn't really have much of a reason to quote unquote play for each other. There's no real history there, but this young man not stopping the fight. Madison Monroe.
Junior out of Charlotte.
Makes the first free throw.
Part of that young backcourt along with Marcus Banks. I feel like that's the backcourt of the future right now.
Appearing in just his 11th game this season. He's done well in limited action, shooting 47% from the floor, 45% from 3, respectable percentage from the line.
Minutes increasing after the departure of Travion McCray.
Yeah, it seems like Marcus Banks is going to inherit a lot of the starting minutes, but as you said, there's a trickle down there, Bruce, where Madison Monroe is going to see some more action too, and he's making Justin Gray look very smart for giving him those minutes. 17-2 run now, just over 2 minutes remaining. Bucks are on the verge of their 14th consecutive win over Western Carolina. Jordan King went halfway down and popped out. Robinson up fakes. No look pass for Massey. Haven't seen him a lot today, and maybe that's part of the reason why. Josh Massey misses badly, and then a terrible turnover from Ladarius Brewer. It's getting sloppy on both ends.
Yeah, why make that pass? 14-point lead. Opportunity to work some clock. Don't need baskets.
Now with 90 seconds left, Jordan King content to take his time. And swatted nearly out of bounds, and indeed it is. Monroe was on the line when he tried to save it. Your True Shine Car Wash player of the game, Bruce, you look at Jordan King, 9 of 13 from the floor, a couple rebounds, a couple of assists, 23 points, but David Sloan has had a nice game for ETSU. 5 in double figures scoring.
Jaden Seymour early ran the floor, a couple of nice finishes at the rim, but I guess it has to be King with the long-range bombing. Let's go try players of the game. King for that long-range bombing, David Sloan for those 9 assists, and Jaden Seymour for his high energy and acrobatic finishes.
10 points and just 3 shots for Jaden Seymour. 5 in the shot clock. Ronnie Patterson turns the corner and lays it in. That breaks the 17-2 run for Western Carolina.
1 minute remaining in the game.
Like to see TSU a little stronger in those traps.
Massey, another miss on Rose. Still doing battle against multiple Buccaneers, and it'll be Western that keeps it with 49.5 in the game clock. Western Carolina, if you walk away from this one having closed the game strong, yes, it's going to be a double-digit loss, but is there a consolation in how you finish the game, Bruce?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Opportunity to quit when you're down 29. They hung in there, made some plays. I think it's an opportunity for Justin Gray to go into the film room tomorrow and say, look, we can develop a sense of urgency, bounce the floor, defensive transition, and not give up countless baskets at the rim. We can play with the top teams in the league on their home floor. We just made it way too easy.
Davion Everett in mop-up duty for Western, 1 of 4 from the line this year. This is that free throw, and on what is likely the last chance for this crowd inside Freedom Hall to walk away with a free chicken sandwich. Inexperienced Everett from halfway there.
Always right on the right foot.
There it is. The crowd has lost their mind. Didn't look comfortable, did he, Bruce?
Made me uncomfortable.
Bringing down rain.
David Sloan with assist number 10 into the Brewer finish.
First double-double of the season for David Sloan. And the shot clock now off. The Bucks don't need to do anything but just hold this to end the game, but I think Vonnie Patterson wants more, and he'll take it. Energetic and eclectic finish here from Freedom Hall for the home fans, the home team. And only a consolation layup from Marlo Gilmore as the clock will